Planners and bullet journals, art projects organized, planner chic. Well, hello, Planner Babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. I publish 1 to 2 recorded videos per week on planning, junk journaling, craft room organization, and related shopping hauls. I also post an additional live video most weeks. And I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much, and if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, Planner Babes, here is my Dollar Tree DIY ribbon storage and organization, and I am so happy with how it turned out. And there is absolutely plenty of room to grow, and I'll show you what I mean when we get just a little bit closer. Okay, here at the top you can see that I have the Dollar Tree hooks, which it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's the 6 hook over the door Dollar Tree hanger, and I also have a galvanized Dollar Tree wreath hanger hanging right in the center because I wanted to be able to also change out my wreaths every season here on the door of my storage room and my craft room. So I did that first, hung the 6 hook over the door hanger, then the galvanized hook, and then I could see how I wanted to build my organizer around it. So first I took one and put it here on the very first hook to the left, and then, what did I put here? I put the Dollar Tree shower caddies. So I put one caddy on the first hook, and then I put a caddy on the last hook, and then I put a caddy along the center, which isn't on a hook because there's 6, so to make it even on both sides, I had to just take some of the zip ties. Let me see if you can see one up close. Yeah, so here's this zip tie right here, which is what I used to bring everything together. So I zip tied the one in the center where I wanted to position it because I didn't have a hook to put it on. Okay, and then what I did is I hooked everything together with zip ties, and I was just kind of careful to see where can I hook these. You can kind of see some ties in between there. Where can I hook these to hold them together? So sometimes I took a zip tie and I brought it just horizontally between, or to bring together 2 of the caddies. And then other times after I did that, so that they would continue to be more secure, then I put a zip tie kind of horizontally across them. So let me see if I can find one that's kind of horizontally tied. So see, there's one right there. There's one that's vertically and not horizontally, I mean diagonally tied, to give it just a better, because sometimes when it was just horizontally tied, the zip tie would just slide around. So it just depended. Sometimes I needed to use a zip tie just to bring it together, and then I did it horizontally after that to make it stay together, because you're working with a bunch of different kind of wiry things. Then I just continued just around this wreath. So then I took one and I hooked it, as you can see right in there, underneath the bottom of this shower caddy. And then I did another one underneath the bottom of that shower caddy. You can see the hooks there, the zip ties, so that they would be around my wreath. So I can't have a wreath bigger than this on this door, that's for sure, going on. And then after that, I took the last little, you see how they have these little sticking points, like if you wanted to hang your shower brush. So then I took another caddy and I hung it around that one of that bottom caddy. And then I took another caddy and I connected it to the bottom left of this caddy. And then I took zip ties and I brought those together. And then this one right under the wreath is actually upside down. So here I took zip ties right there, and I connected this one upside down. So see, this right here is the top of the caddy that's supposed to hang on the shower, but it's upside down. And then I just used more zip ties, so you can see this is actually a bottom shelf right here upside down. Yeah, and then I just did that. Now it took me a while to do this. It took me probably 2 months because I was just working on it a little bit at a time. I didn't know what I wanted, and so I didn't film the process of doing it, so I apologize for that, but hopefully that will make sense. These caddies, because they're kind of, they're wires and they're kind of want to bend or protrude out, because you're connecting different things that aren't normally connected together, then what I had to do to make them be flat is use some tape. Now, I remember I love Do It on the Dime, and she used some caddies to make like a pantry for someone, and she used the blue tacky stuff to hold them down. Well, I tried to do that, and because I guess I don't know, they just wouldn't hold still. They would be there for a little bit and then they pop out, and then they just didn't look good because it just didn't go because it's blue tacky tape stuff from Dollar Tree. I didn't have any of the white kind. And so what I did that worked way better for me is I took some framers tape, which you can order that online. I'm not sure how well masking tape would work, but framers tape worked really well. It's a very strong tape and it's acid free, so it won't turn yellow on the door. It never ever will. And it's also easy to pull up and it won't damage the wall or the paint, or the door rather. And so I just kind of tucked the tape along the side and laid the rest piece flat on the left, and then tucked it under the right side and laid it flat. And then I took another piece, so that was one strip of tape, and then I took another strip and laid it on top of the left side, and then another strip and laid it on top of the right side. And I did that for all of the areas like that. So like you can see it right here. Yeah, and I also did it on the inside parts of that bottom hook that you normally would hang like your shower brush or your shower sponge, squeegee, what do you call it thing? The big loofah. Okay, and so that's how I did that. So here on the bottom, first, as you can see, everything's grouped by color. And what I did here for this bottom tray is this is just sitting up there. And because everything is in there so well, connected so well, then it just holds it very, very easily. So I ran out of Dollar Tree ones. I thought I had a lot more at home, but I only wound up having 2 or 3. And then when I went to Dollar Tree to try to get some more, they didn't have any at any of the stores. So that was weird. They used to have them all the time. So this one is from Walmart, the ones that kind of have that beveled edge like that. And then this one is, for example, is from Dollar Tree. And so what I did is in the basket ones, I took some ribbon and I just weaved it through the plastic openings for the color category that I was doing. And inside the baskets are little remnants of ribbon. So, sometimes when you just need a shorter piece of ribbon and you don't need to start a whole nother spool, you got scraps that you can still use, and that's what I'm using for the baskets. And so I'm doing that in all of the different colors. And then above that is just another, shelf. So that shelf, I just fit them right in there. And to take them out is really easy when it's on the corner. You just pull it right out. But if you want to get into one of the center ones, you might have to pull a couple others out, which is no big deal to me at all. And then there above, they're just sitting right on top, are some other ones. Now, a lot of them will not fit in here the way that they're packaged from Dollar Tree, because they're in a spool, and some of the spool is normally sticking out to make it easy for the ribbon not to fall off. And so all I did is I sat down, and you can see I cut around the spool to make it not be so tall so that it would fit in there. So I just cut the cardboard, and I was really careful to try not to cut the ribbon as well, although I did do that a couple of times, but just barely, like on the edge, and it won't unravel in those spots. So it was perfectly fine. Yeah. And so then I've got it by whites, creams, beiges, neutral colors there at the top. And then here's the greens. And I might have 1 or 2 ribbon that aren't from Dollar Tree because I always buy them from Dollar Tree. I did the same thing for the greens. And then here for all of the pinks. Got some different remnants and pieces inside there. And then before I move on to the other colors, I wanted to let you know, I don't know if you noticed that all of those little crafters twines are just sticking on the hooks that used to be or normally would be used for your loofahs. And so I got those coordinating as well. I don't happen to have any that are off-white or cream. Sorry, my finger's all in the camera screen. But they're the green ones. And then I like the big one. Sometimes at Dollar Tree you can find the really big spools. And then I just put the smaller ones right inside of it. And that just works really well. And then the blue. So I definitely have room to grow in the blue, as you can see. And I don't even have but maybe a tiny bit of remnant there in the blue, but I have quite a bit of twine. So I have the small package and the big one from Dollar Tree in the dark blue, and then in the light blue there. I only have 1 thing of purple ribbon, and so this section also can grow. This is the one that was completely upside down, and so I have this tray. I call it tray, but it's not really a tray. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then there's room to add one right here on top that I could just pull out as well. And I don't know if I could figure out something small enough to fit in there, but I'm sure at some point I could. And then so that again is the one that's upside down. You can just keep hooking stuff to this and making this bigger and wider and just keep going on for forever almost with just tape and zip ties, I think. And then here I've got cranberries and reds. So I'm definitely going to be using these for Christmas. I got them at Dollar Tree around Thanksgiving time. And then inside here are the remnants for the reds and the cranberries and burgundies and all that kind of stuff. And this one's a little tall. Yeah. And then down here I've got the golds, silver, and yellow. And I've got some remnants in there. And then I've got browns and oranges and kind of earth tones here. And so I also have some more of the twine down there from Dollar Tree. And then here are some remnants. And black too would be here, but I don't have any black ribbon. And that is it, you guys. I love how it turned out. I love how I have room to grow, how I can add more trays to it or whatever. Man, this was really fun and very colorful. I'm very happy. Well, before we close today, I want to let you guys know that I am on Instagram at Organized Planner Chic, where I post all of my creative ventures and adventures. I also have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and the local one is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps my channel a lot, and it tells that YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself, because caring for your mental, physical, and spiritual health are all super important. And when one area suffers, they all suffer. You guys, please continue to pray for me, and I'll continue to pray for you. And until next time, happy planning.